Hey there, Postal here. So today we're going to be taking a look at the F-84B. Let's go ahead and hop into a game. Alright, and so now we come to this. This is the F-84B. One of my absolute favorite multi-rolls in the game, and it's because it's a true multi-roll. What do I mean by that? It can do multiple things. In reality, it can almost do anything you want it to do. I mean, look at all the frickin' rockets on the bottom. You've got the tiny Tims, got the little Tims. I don't know what the hell they're called, the HVARs. So you've got a lot of ground attackability. You've got really good speed. Let me look them up above 500 miles an hour. Let's toss some rockets, baby. Oh no, didn't get that like I was hoping to. You have really good maneuverability. It's not quite to the J7W2, but it's good. What it lacks, though, is you're noticing here, is the gunpowder. And that's honestly the reason why this, in my opinion, although it might be one of my favorite planes, isn't the best Tier 9 multi-roll in the game. The guns really let it down. I forget if this battle has it or not, but there's going to be times, there's just times when you're flying this where you're like, oh my god, I have to take 15 seconds to kill one of these planes. That hurt. And you just don't have 15 seconds, right? So I'm trying to use my boost right now to get away from this key. Key is going away and I can't really do anything about it. Trying to use some of my maneuverability, using that pitch, using that roll, using the yaw. And unfortunately my engine's out. He stopped paying attention to me, so now I need to definitely be paying attention to him. I'm probably going to die here, I would think. The guns are actually quite good against things like a key. Dang it. Oh well. Got sniped. It's pretty good against multi-rolls. Where it lacks is against heavies, GAs, bombers, which is really a shame because this platform, the speed allows you to get pretty high up. The quote-unquote altitude performance is, you know, right in the middle there where all the multi-rolls are, or most of the multi-rolls. But it has enough airspeed to get up high and do things that we want it to do. In this battle, you know, went north there, got that garrison, now trying to get to the center. Unfortunately, there's quite a bit of fighters in the center here. And like any multi-roll, fighters are going to be able to outfight you. What this plane can do, though, is last quite a bit longer in a dogfight than almost any other multi-roll in the game at Tier 9. And so we've got our tiny Tims we've thrown out there. Let's swivel back around here. Let's see what we can do versus these heavies. And this is probably why people don't like this plane so much. If this plane had the Hispanos that are on the Seahawk, it would just be perfect. It would have very hard-hitting guns. I mean, look at how long this is taking, right? The plane that I'm attacking, obviously, is right at the edge of the range, and so, I mean, that obviously causes issues. So right now we're just trying to get the center. We're here already. I don't have the ability to dive down to the ground. There's just too many planes to take my time and throw my rockets out. But yeah, so the guns let you down in this plane more than anything else. But that being said, everything else about the plane, literally everything else about the plane, is solid, is really good. And so as long as you're putting yourself in position to utilize your rockets from time to time, and dogfight when you need to, you'll do well in this plane. Right now in the battle, well, we're down 2-3, and we've been down at least 2-3 the whole game, right? So what we need to do is start killing planes. Everybody's going to be coming towards the center here, and so that's why I'm hanging out at the center. There's no reason to leave at this point because I can kill, hopefully kill planes. And unfortunately this 262 stuck with me just long enough to actually knock me out. My goal was to stay at the center and allow us to continue to spawn at the center, and we've held onto it just long enough to where we were able to spawn out and grab some of the other sections. So now we're back in the center. So I'm gonna keep on hanging out here, kind of play the light fighter role, so to speak. Play defense is basically what I'm playing here, and this plane does that very well. It can be a fighter, a regular light fighter in a pinch very easily. And if you're used to things like the Mustang, any of the Mustang line, things of that nature, this is basically a Mustang with rockets and, well, more rockets. So heading over to this garrison, I was thinking, and then I realized that, well, shoot, we've got a lot coming in here, and this freaking fighter wasn't paying attention and is now probably in trouble. So trying to use my maneuverability, using the air brakes, feathering the boost, and trying to use my yaw controls to kind of spin around a little bit. Was able to get behind him, but now I'm kind of stuck in the middle. Like, I'm not in any sector where I want to be. I'm not being really relevant, and I'm a little bit frustrated by that. So not a lot I can do though, because I'm dogfighting a freaking key, which is not what you want to be doing. Luckily he's got other things to worry about, so it allows me to come up and over, and these guns are pretty good versus things like freaking key. Alright, so unfortunately now we're down 2-3 in the sectors, and we have been for a while, so we're down by quite a bit on the capture points. And at this point I was like, well, crap, if we lose the center, the game's completely gone. Normally you always want to be capturing, but in this situation I need to defend this, because if this is lost, the game is lost. Squall lines in, so let's start knocking stuff out here. See if we can defend this well enough, and then go from here. If we get this guy knocked out, we should be able to. There we go. We should have enough capture points. It's kind of tempted to go and get that one sector, but there's so many things coming in this way. I figure let's turn around. Let's go to one of the south sectors, and we'll kill some guys on the way there. And again, you can do that in the F-84. It's maneuverable enough, especially something like this Seahawk that's super low health. It was coming towards me. Oh man, I feel like the game is slipping away from me right now. Like, these planes are not working with me. Like, come back so I can kill you. But we've made it all the way through our sector. We're now in their sector. Let's go ahead and start flipping it. Our teammates have flipped one of the other red sectors, so now we're up 3-2. Not that that's a lot of consolation. It looks like they're going to be flipping the northern one, so let's get this one flipped. If we can get this all flipped, maybe we can snag a victory from the jaws of defeat. So, got this key. We need to get on him. Whoa! We need to get on him quick. He's got more hit points than I realized, and so I'm freaking out, and that actually is gonna cause it's gonna take too long to get him. I was not on target quick enough. But see what I'm doing here with the yaw controls. I'm trying to circle around, and I'm hitting the wrong button there. That's a little frustrating. Considering it's against a key, which is one of the more maneuverable fighters in the game, and I'm able to kind of stick with him, but I had an issue there. And I accidentally hit the wrong yaw direction, and it threw me off. And that's actually going to cost me the game. Because by the time I kill him, which I did kill him, we got complete control of the skies right as they had 800. So it was actually the right direction to go. Just me fumbling around with the keyboard, though, screwed that up, and we should have had that win. Only 2 more frickin' planes. Dang it. Let's head back. Man, if I just had half a second more. I made a couple mistakes there at the end. One, I believe I probably should have gone for the garrison to the north. I spent too much time trying to go south. I thought the multi-roll, I forget what it was, I'll have to take a look, that was coming towards me was going to keep coming towards me, but he turned around and went away from me, and it took me, there's like a gap there of almost a minute where I wasn't actually doing anything but chasing somebody down. That could have still been overcome if I had better skills with my keyboard against that key at the end. I kept yawing in the opposite direction that I wanted to yaw. I believe I could have actually killed him probably 5 seconds earlier. We would have had air supremacy, and I would have actually won this freaking match. But I mean, this shows you some of the things an F-84B can do, and why it was really difficult for me to say that this isn't the best multi-role at Tier 9. And I think that comes as a surprise to a lot of people. You know, and I know a lot of people would pick the F-94D as the best, or the 212 as the best multi-role. The reason I say this one is up there as far as viability is concerned is because of what I just showed you. This plane is a great dogfighter. And it has so much ground armament, so many bombs and rockets. It is what you want a multi-role to be. It can do a little bit of everything. What lets it down, and what lets this plane down as as being the quote-unquote best Tier 9 multi-role, in my opinion, is its guns. How many times was I behind somebody, even somebody with low hit points, and it was like watching the seconds tick by. Where almost every other plane, every other plane here, if its guns hit, I'm looking at you, I-211, is going to do significant damage. The F-84B, for all its strengths, its maneuverability, its airspeed, even its survivability, its weakness of the guns, it lets it down. But, and that's coming from somebody that actually likes this gun style. I absolutely adore all the Mustangs and the Sabre, FJ1. You know, so the machine guns, the 50 cal machine guns, are not a bad thing in my opinion, but it hampers this plane from being a clear cut above everybody else. If this had 4 20mm cannons on it, hell, if this had 3 20mm cannons on it, I'd put it as the best multi-role at Tier 9. It's that good. It is. You can do really what you want. Going against bombers and going against GAs is where, and even some heavies, is where you'll find it lackluster. But its ground armor is going to get the job done, and it can stick with everything else, and it can still do the job against heavy fighters and even some bombers and GAs. It's just you have to be mindful of your limitations. I love this plane. I wish I had. This is my first battle of the day, and you know what? I'm gonna toss it out there as the video for the day. Usually my first one is, you know, stretching my legs kind of thing. Maybe I'll play another battle in and see if I can do even better, because usually my second battle of the day is my good battle. But I just adore this plane. It's so much fun. At first I thought it was so much fun because the grind to it is absolutely terrible, in my humble opinion. It just wasn't my play style. I think VBAT just had a XP72 video posted, so check that out. But for me, the play style was a little lacking. This whole multi-role line is actually really good ground armament from top to bottom. You've got the rockets and the bombs, or the bombs and the rockets, to really make an impact on the ground. What you don't have is any good maneuverability, and you've got 50 cal machine guns. So the 50 cal machine guns on the F-84B are viable only because you've got the maneuverability to get them on target. Things like the P-47N and the XP-72 at Tier 7 and Tier 8 respectively don't have any maneuverability, and so because of that, the guns, you need to be on target for so long before the guns actually kill something that they're not really viable at Tier 7 and Tier 8. I kind of like the P-47B at Tier 6, but at Tier 6 you don't yet have that separation of things that are, everything's kind of just clumped together. Tier 5 and Tier 6, I think even the P-43 I quite liked. Up till this point, I was okay with everything. Here was okay-ish, and then here it just became a grind, and I hate grinds. I like enjoying myself. But to be honest, it all made it up with everything before it was made up by the F-84B. I just love this plane. I think it's tier for tier, it's actually better than the Tier 10. Tier 10 doesn't get a whole lot better. But this is still viable in Tier 10. So having a Tier 10 that's just slightly better, I can understand. Alright, so this is the 5th video in my 6-video series. If you can do process of elimination, you'll know what I feel is the best Tier 9 multi-role in the game. And we'll go ahead and have that video following this one. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day.